Hi guys, welcome back. I want you to meet a YouTuber named Miss Makita, and Miss Makita is on a personal challenge to lose 100 pounds, and oh, by the way, she's killing it. But today's video is not about that. Today's video is about the idea that when you start to lose a lot of weight, you're naturally going to gain some confidence, and you might want to start dating again. So Miss Makita's video is called, "Is My Nigerian Boyfriend Scamming Me?" I hope you enjoy.
And let me tell you, the love views come really quickly. This video is going to go by really quickly, ladies, so just keep up. The love views come really quickly. Let me just say this here. If you know, here in America, if a man told us that he was in love with us in 1 week or 3 days or 2 days, we would look at him like something was wrong with him. So why is it that when you start talking to another man from out of country, it's just like, oh my God, he loves me. Like, nah, stop the bull. You already know. Stop. Ladies, also, do not feel like because you met his so-called family, oh, they love you so much, you're in it, sis. Nah. Let me tell you how mine went. My friend introduced me, well, ex-friend, whatever you want to call him, the scammer, introduced me to his so-called family. Come to find out down the line, he didn't even realize how good I was on social media. He posted a video, and the way he posted the video was like he didn't put no wording at the top or anything like that. And what he did was he posted a video with three children. And my mind is wondering, like, who are these kids? Who are these kids? Are these his little nephews or something? Who are these children? So I rung up the name with the TikTok. It was on the TikTok video. Whoo, child. Ran me to a whole page with him. Videos with him. His wife. And the 3 boys belong to him.
So technically, you can have 3 boys and not necessarily have a wife, right? She could be your ex-wife or what have you. But when you say there's a wife involved there too, have any of you at home ever dealt with an online dating scam? If you have, or a long distance out of country dating scam, or if you have a family relative or friend that has, please do share down below.
Ladies, be careful. Come to find out, I know he introduced me like a year prior to this young lady he said was his sister. Do you know the wife, listen to me closely, was the one that introduced herself to me as his sister? That same female that he was posted up with in their marriage pictures and hugging and kissing and love yous and with them and the children is the same one that he introduced to me as his wife, and she went along with it.
So just a couple minutes into the story, these things can become real scary and real dangerous. And like I said earlier, you start to lose weight, you start to feel good about yourself. You still got to keep your guard up, ladies and gentlemen. You never know if there's a devil right around the corner for you. Always be eyes open and aware. Make sure that you're not going down the wrong path. Number one, you shouldn't get some random pen pal, I love you person from out of the country anyway. I think we all know that.
Ladies, be careful. And I'm not just saying Nigerian men, but as of now, that's the story that I have, and that's the story that I'm going to give you because that's what I went through. Don't come for me, anybody, because I'm speaking of what I experienced with someone from Nigeria. I'm not speaking for all people from Nigeria, but I am speaking of my experience. Ladies, be careful. Don't think because you met somebody in his so-called family you're in. Pay attention. Make sure that female he's introducing you to as his sister or his cousin, make sure that is his sister or his cousin. Because the wives being anointed too. It's just like you're a cash cow. They think that they can get something from you. She went along with this whole thing. Every time he and I would talk, she'd be the, hey, sis. Then I run up on TikTok and realize y'all are husband and wife with 3 children. So let me just tell you, when all of that came to head, let me just say this here, because the story is going rather quickly. But let me know in the comment section if y'all want to hear like a longer detailed story of this, but this is just a little rundown of it. Listen, we have been talking for at least 3 years at the time, and he has been wanting me to come. Okay. My spirit just would never let me go. Like, I don't know. It was just like, listen, my thing is this. If I got to pay anything on my ticket of me going to meet somebody, I'm not going. That's just how I am. That's just what my feeling was telling me. Like, listen, when a man does something for you here, Makita, and he's trying to woo you, what does he do? He goes all out for you.
So I love that she had that natural safeguard. Hey, unless you're paying for my ticket and going all out, I don't want anything to do with it. That's a natural safeguard she had. But here's the scary thing. If they would have pushed the scam a little further, sent her money for a ticket and stuff, she goes out there. Let's say he does look like a very handsome Don Juan type, right? All of a sudden, she could very easily start handing over credit card numbers in the future. If people are willing to lay down seeds like that in advance, get away from that evil.
Okay, so this is our first time meeting. Like, you should be paying the ticket. You should be paying for everything. My hotel stay, everything. It should be you, not me. Not me. So he would always come up with, you just don't want to see me now. You just, see, you breaking my heart, though. You breaking my heart, though. You don't want to come see me. The love I have for you is so strong now.
Because the wife is in on it, it seems really scary. If she would have went down there, for all we know, they would have literally killed her. I mean, this could be bigger than just a financial scam. This sounds freaky to me.
Let me tell you something. Pay attention to your spirit. My spirit the whole time kept telling me, Makita, don't you spend not $1 to go see this man. Don't go. Something was wrong. And the main thing that really turned me off with him is that he started asking me for money. Big money. When he realized he couldn't get $2,500 from me, do you know, a week later he turned around and said, oh, I told you that my job has slowed down and everything, and if you could just maybe send me $300, $400, $500 maybe on some food.
Now, there's a couple more good points in this video. There's about 3 minutes left, but out of respect for her and her video, I'm going to ask you guys to go check out her channel, subscribe, and watch the rest of this really neat video. With that being said, if you think I should follow her further along as she finishes up her 100-pound goal, please let me know down in our comments. But for now, why don't you guys go get your shoes? Let's go for a walk. Yay! The electric cars are silent. So imagine getting hit in your neighborhood by a speeding car, or worse yet, imagine one of the children in your neighborhood getting hit by an electric car. They won't even hear it coming. At least when you hear a gas-powered car screeching around the corners in your neighborhood, at least you can hear it, so you have a chance to get away from it. Now, don't get me wrong, if you had a brand new Tesla here and said, hey, Jesse, here's the keys, it's yours, man, that would be the happiest day ever, and I would take it, right? Because I'm not a fool. You still want a brand new free car if it's available, right? But the reality is these things aren't free. And even though the costs and the prices are going down significantly, they still cost an arm and a leg, you know? There's always going to be something that sounds like it's the new latest and greatest thing. The grass is always going to look greener. You know, I think that's what happens with a lot of times when people are trying to diet and exercise. You'll find yourself on YouTube or in front of infomercials looking for the next latest and greatest pill. And then you think to yourself, well, you know what? When we go on YouTube, when we go on the infomercials, those are pills that are kind of scammy, Jesse. But when we go to Mounjaro and Ozempic and Zepbound, those are clinically proven. Even the doctors and the scientists and the experts will let you know these are medicines that will legitimately get you to lose weight so that you can live longer. And it's true. They really, really are. So what does that do to the future? I think in the future, you're going to slowly but surely see more people that don't try things like the sardine diet. You're going to slowly see more and more people that don't want to try to add walking to their daily repertoire. And I think we're going to see a lot of people walk off a cliff with these medications. And I think if you fast forward another 20 or 30 years, we're going to get so removed from the world that we know now, where people naturally associate diet and exercise to the #1 way to lose weight. I think we're going to enter a future where that's no longer preached, you know? And if all of a sudden, imagine every 10, 15 people that you normally go out and you see and they're obese, imagine if those people no longer exist, not because they die off, but because they're taking these medications that make them want to eat less, and so they do lose weight. Well, that's all fine and dandy, but what happens afterwards when they start to realize that, hey, these medications do have a lot of problems? You know, believe it or not, there's a lot of medicines out there that initially get approved, and then they end up having to take it and removing it from the market later. Why? Because a lot of times when you're doing clinical trials, you don't see all the side effects that can happen on day one or on year one with your little study group, right? And a lot of times when that little study group of a couple hundred people becomes a global phenomena where all of a sudden you have millions of people taking these medications, well, guess what? You're going to have hundreds of thousands of people that have successful situations where they don't have any issues with the medicine, but you're also going to have tens of thousands of people that do. So if those tens of thousands of people can't take these medicines, or if they take them but they have to quit them, you know, what do they have to look forward to? I just think it's going to be a real tough deal. And although I can try to talk people into walking, it does seem like it's an uphill battle, literally. I mean, look at how many people were willing to walk with me in March when the weather was nice. And now here we are in August, and it's almost like people have no interest in walking. Do I understand where they're coming from? Of course, it's hot as heck out here. I mean, it's really uncomfortable. Even this t-shirt I'm wearing, it has this paint on it, right? From this artwork here of Mario. This paint doesn't let your body breathe right there. So it's almost like it's stuck to my chest and just kind of held there by the moisture of my sweat. Very uncomfortable. And let's be honest, if I weighed 200 pounds more than I do now, if I weighed 365 pounds, oh my God, you would probably have to pay me quite a bit of money to come out here. So I feel for people. They feel like they're in between a rock and a hard place. They know there's a medicine out there that'll help them feel better. And believe it or not, even though they might not have heard my words, they know deep down there's side effects with any type of medication, right? But if you're 350 pounds and you really want to know what it feels like to be under 200 again, right? To hit Wonderland, well, a lot of people are willing to do whatever it takes, except diet and exercise. The problem with walking, it doesn't work in a weekend. It doesn't work in a day. It really doesn't even work in a month or two. It's really got to be a lifestyle. It's the only way to do it. So here's my question to you. Is your lifestyle going to begin after you lose the 200 pounds with the pills and with the medicines? Is that when it starts? Because odds are, if that's your thinking, you're going to go on these medicines and you're probably just going to gain the weight back. It doesn't matter if you're willing to put the hard work in today, tomorrow, or in the future. You still have to put the hard work in. So a lot of people think, well, if I could just get off to a head start, lose the weight, then I could go ahead and then I could be healthy because it'll be easier to maintain that smaller weight. But you want to know something? That doesn't seem to work for anybody. The only way to stay healthy is to keep moving. You ever look at ex-professional athletes? Look at Cedric Ceballos, former Phoenix Suns player. That guy in his 30s or 40s had a heart attack and went from being one of the skinniest players in the NBA every year when he was younger to one of the biggest guys you could imagine. 6'6", 6'7", looked like he was about 340 pounds. Meanwhile, when he came out of college and when he played for the Phoenix Suns, he was one of the skinniest guys in the league. Super skinny. The type that could wear a wristband around his arm and it looked like a wristband still. It didn't look like it was stretching that far out at all. There's so many ways where we can slip into being unhealthy. And it's just crazy because if Cedric Ceballos, if he would have just started keeping a walking routine, he probably never would have gained weight. Why did he gain weight, Jesse? Well, think about it. If you go from running every single day playing basketball and all of a sudden you retire and you quit playing sports, you're gonna gain weight. And so many professional athletes look like Adonis while they're playing, but then when they retire, they really start to look like crap. One of our favorite Phoenix Suns of all time is actually one of your favorites too. You guys have heard of Charles Barkley. He's doing Ozempic or Mounjaro, one of those pills, and he's lost a significant amount of weight. You know, the question is, how's that going to work for him long term? He gets to be the guinea pig. Everybody knows he's on this medication. Let's see if he ends up staying on it forever. Let's see what happens when he quits. I just think that, I come from a world where I believe we can do things, where we can accomplish things. And you will accomplish things. I just didn't really realize that we live in this TikTok world where if people don't get immediate results, they can get discouraged exceptionally quick. And that saddens me. Because there's a lot of times where you think to yourself, my goodness, how does anybody achieve major goals if we live in a world where nobody wants to put the time and that investment, to get there? So I'm a little worried about that. But like I said, the walk goes on. I'm going to jump into my lab again. I'm going to think, hey, let's try to find a way where we can make the show even better. Maybe the first 5 or 10 minutes of the show, while we're doing the reaction, maybe I should videotape myself just having my first 10 minutes of the walk and then superimpose it onto the show so it looks like I'm walking and doing a reaction to the video while I'm walking. Those are thoughts that go through my head. Now, what will that do to the editing? With the editing, that might create a situation where I need to have an extra half hour to 45 minutes to kind of set that up. Do you know how to set it up now? No. So it's probably going to take 2 or 3 hours of learning how to do this properly, right? You have to cut yourself out of a picture. So imagine me, not with the houses in the background, but imagine me with just a black background, a nothing background. And then I impose myself onto a video. Those are things that I'm envisioning in my head. These are things that you can envision too. Hey, right now I'm walking every day. I go to lunch every single day with Patty at work, and we go to Chipotle or we go to, McDonald's or Wendy's. Maybe today will be the day that you guys decide to take Jesse's advice and ditch that large soda. Maybe today will be the day that you guys decide to drink a bottle of water with your lunch. And maybe today will be the first of many days where you just decide, hey, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change my life. It starts with a decision. I'm going to change my life. Okay, there's the choice. Now what actions, what steps are you going to take to make that happen? There's action that's involved. I think what a lot of overweight people do is I think they like to watch a lot of videos, get down as much information as possible, and then they just kind of stew on that information. They're learning about weight loss, they're learning the do's and don'ts, but they're having a hard time applying them. All these gurus on YouTube and Facebook and TikTok, they all tell you how to do things and how to avoid things, right? But they're not necessarily showing you how to apply them. If you walk how I walk every single day, you're going to quickly notice that weight just kind of disappears off your body. I don't know if you guys remember, but just 5 months ago, I was pretty chunky, pretty out of shape. For the last 2 or 3 months, I've been back to normal. So it's interesting. I look at it and I say, hey, it's easy to get in shape. But how many people disagree with me there? A lot. A lot of people don't think it's easy to get into shape. But that's where you have to keep pushing on. When you find somebody like myself that's willing to walk with you, that's all you need. But you have to be willing to walk back. That's going to take commitment. So here's where you have an advantage. I just had to change my battery out twice. Those would have both been times where I could have said, okay, walk's over, it's too hot, let's go home, let's call it a day. My audience has been cut in half. That's something that would make most YouTubers call it a day. But your boy's been walking with you for over 150 consecutive days. And here's where you have an advantage. This YouTuber doesn't give a shit how many people watch. If you're one single overweight person that you want to change your life, that's all I need. You subscribe to this channel, I'm gonna walk with you every day. And even if you see me in the future and I have 0 views, I'm gonna walk every day. My goal is to look for that one human being that wants to change their life the old-fashioned way. And if you do, I believe we can change your life in 90 days. So if you want to see a case study in willpower, you're going to see it out of your boy Jesse here. All I need is me, Bob, Mala, Sean, Lily, the Venters, and you. And if you're the only one in the future, then it'll just be me and you, and I will try to come up with fun things to talk about and fun challenges for me and you. So I'm not speaking to the world. I'm speaking to you, the one individual there on the other side of the screen that's looking back at this goofy guy with a Mario Kart t-shirt. Everybody wants to quit. I will not quit on you. Things are gonna get easier. The weather's gonna get cooler. The water's gonna taste better. The sugar's not gonna taste so sweet. I'm a case study in willpower. I've been walking for 2 or 3 decades in a row, every single day that I could, minus surgeries and illness. And guess what? The more you walk, the more weight you lose, the less illness you experience. I haven't been sick in a long, long time. Neither will you. Let's do this together. You want somebody that's gonna do it and not quit? I have a million reasons to quit right now. I'm not gonna. I don't care if I have 1 viewer. I have an advantage. I want to teach you a little bit about willpower and how it does exist and how it can change your life. Your battery needs to be replaced. Let's charge it up. Let's replace it. Let's change your life. Let's do this. I can do this. You can do this. We can do this. Let's do this. Do this. You're a Venter now. I'm Jesse. Nice to meet you. Let's go. Hi guys, I'm here at Target. I'm going to pick up some Skinny Pop, but I wanted to let you guys know, never quit. There's a million reasons for me to quit. There's a million reasons for you to quit, but I'm not gonna. So again, even if there's only one person out there, walk with me. We'll hit your goals together, no matter how long it takes. Have a great day, Venters! Yippee! Figured I'd take you guys into Target with me. Let's get some Skinny Pop. Yeah! So, I don't know about you guys, but I go to Walmart a lot for my shopping. But I go to Target a lot just for the ambiance. I don't know what it is. I just like the lighting in Target so much better than Walmart. I think we all do. This is what scares me about today's world. We all buy online so much that nobody ever goes to the stores anymore. But let's get some Skinny Pop. I don't even know if I'm allowed to record in here. If they tell me to stop, you'll notice the camera goes off pretty quick. But I don't think anybody gives a shit. If you're a Dorito lover like I am and you want to eat something that's a little bit easier on the body and on the weight, Skinny Pop, that's the way to go. So let's grab a bag, shall we? I should have had my camera on while I was walking in the parking lot. I almost got ran over. Let's see if we can find it in here. So again, if you guys are thinking about quitting, just walk with me. I won't quit on you, I promise. I promise. Here we go with our Skinny Pop action. All right, we're gonna go with the white cheddar option today. I'm getting some eye rollers. They're like, gosh darn it, can I even go to Target without these YouTubers fucking with me? Anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Remember, sometimes walking can be as easy as taking your family members out to do some shopping. Let them look at what they want to look at. You take a walk around the perimeter of the store. Hey, let's get some bananas. It's not 29 cents a pound, it's 29 cents each. I guess that's Target's way of selling bananas. So anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know I'm willing to take Walk Talk Vent anywhere. Next, the White House. Have a good day. Okay, real quick. This is the last month. This is when you want to start doing extra credit. And who would I be to tell you to do extra credit if I'm not out here doing extra credit with you? And listen, sometimes when you wake up on the wrong side of the bed, you might come across as a little negative. The point I was trying to make earlier today when I was speaking with you guys is simply this. I don't care if there's only one of you. I'm gonna be here walking, and I'm gonna take my camera with me, and I'm gonna make corny jokes for the rest of our lives. And we're gonna live a long time, you laughing at my corny jokes. So, stay positive, keep walking, keep adding to what you're doing. We can do this. Oh my God, I'm walking by a party. Isn't that weird? I was talking about a party earlier today. Hi guys. So that house was up for sale just last week or the week before, if you guys remember. It's kind of amazing how fast people can fill in some of these neighborhoods. Probably Californians, who knows? But anyway, just want to let you guys know that I'm going to be taking a quick 10-minute walk here. Why? Because I know this little trek here that I'm about to do is about 12 minutes, and I'm going to try to walk with a little extra pep in my step. Earlier today, I did a half-hour walk at Planet Fitness as well. So again, when I'm talking about doing extra credit, making walking your hobby and stuff, I'm not just saying that for the sake of, saying it. I actually live it. And I want Sean, Six-Pack Sean, to know I'm very proud of you for getting your wife out there to walk. What better freaking way to bond than having something you guys can do where you can talk, or I'm sure you can even enjoy long patches of silence. And then like you said, Sean, you hit the nail right on the head. You said, Jesse, sometimes I need my walk to be solo. And I agree with you. I'm telling this to everybody, even if you love walking with your friends, your neighbors, your sisters, occasionally take a walk solo, because that's the best way to really jump into your think tank. Or, Sean, maybe you can answer on this. Sometimes it's good not to think about anything at all. I'm one of these guys that if I try to think about nothing, I usually end up thinking about something, But if you do want a good way to kind of focus on something other than anything important, you can always focus on your breathing and try to breathe through your nose. I used to be one of these guys that I breathed a lot through my mouth because I felt like my nose was always clogged. I don't know if it was allergies or what, but I noticed that when I walk, I can breathe through my nostrils really, really well. And if any of you guys have noticed that as well, maybe let me know. I'm telling you, if you can breathe through your nose rather than through your mouth, you'll be so much more healthy. Look at these adorable little cats there in the grass. Look at them. Hi guys, how are you? It's so warm in Arizona that cats are very chill. I feel like in other states, if you were to see cats like that, they would probably scurry right when you got close to them. These cats look like they're just, too comfortable to be messing around with running away. So usually this time of day, a lot of the houses form shade, and it's really nice. I don't know if you can tell by my joy, but believe it or not, it's still like 105 right now. I just feel like the sun is a little bit weaker towards the end of the day than it is early in the morning when it's really up high in the sky. So I guess it's not the temperature that bothers me, it's the sunlight. Doesn't the sun know I'm a vampire? Ah! So again, why do we do extra credit? Is it just to develop a hobby and muscle memory? Not really. It's actually so we can hit our goal. If you're ever going to do extra credit and then you want to lay off of it, just do the extra credit for this last month of the challenge. Remember, this challenge is for you. You want to lose 25 or 30 pounds. So far, you've only lost 6 or 7, right? let's step on the gas, because right now your body's ready to lose 10 or 12 pounds. You just got to kind of pump it into action. And again, if you absolutely hate walking, then, you don't need to do it. This was my buddy Justin's house. This was the house that my buddy Justin, I think I told you guys, he is a tattoo artist. This was his house. And then my buddy Brian's was that second story house over there. And then I've got some new friends that are a little bit, older and into their adult age. I have this guy named Jeff here at the end of this street. But I don't know if you guys remember from the very first month or two, but there was like an ambulance outside Jeff's house, and I haven't really seen him walking or anything since. So, hopefully he's okay. I'm pretty sure he's alive. I just don't know if he's really able to walk and stuff anymore. Which is another great reason to keep walking, right? We want to make sure that we walk, because there might be a day in the future where we're not able to walk. And if we can kind of stifle that and stay walking for a long time, that's a good thing. I just noticed my keys were making a lot of noise. So I'm really excited because my t-shirts arrived today. So I ordered 3 of them. I think I might design a couple more and then order a couple more. I want to have at least maybe 5 of them all together. And I just think they're a really cool thing, so I figured I'd wear a shirt. And I want you guys to know I appreciate you. Again, there are moments when I get down. You want to grow your channel. You want to have 1 million people watch every video. But you know what? If there is going to be a slow time for me, it's probably this time, right? Because it is so warm and hot. So again, if you ever hear me and it sounds like I'm getting down, just know I'm not planning on quitting. I'm one of those guys that when I'm losing, I try to find a way to make a comeback. And again, if I wasn't a natural walker, I would be up Schitt's Creek, because if you're not a walker naturally, I don't think you could fake a show like mine. Do you guys agree? I mean, you guys can tell I genuinely enjoy my walk, So if you guys give it a try, I have a feeling you'll feel the same way that Mala, Sean, Lily, and I feel, where we just really look forward to the walk every day. And again, for as much as I love my walk, Sean might love the walk even more, So again, there's something to this craziness. Because I'm sure some people have even asked you before, Sean, what the heck are you doing walking for 3 or 4 hours at a time? But you know what? If it gets you in your groove and you really enjoy what you're doing and, gets you thinking outside of the box, coming up with, answers to life's problems, then who could blame you? It is kind of addictive in that way, especially if you have a lot of things that are constantly going through your head. Sometimes it's really nice just to go out and walk. And like I said, you can isolate problems and come up with solutions, or you can kind of zone out, practice thinking about your breathing, watch YouTube videos as you're walking. Sometimes we need silence. I have some friends and family members too that they don't really deal well with pauses or silence, They feel like something's wrong. Sometimes, and a lot of married couples know this, you have to get to the point where you can not only enjoy the conversation, but you got to get to the point where you can enjoy the silence too. And remember, there's strength in silence. Let me give you an example. Let's say Dale at work says something to irritate you, right? Calls you out on something. You can do one of 2 things. You can be loud right back, or you can try a strategy of silence. There's a lot of power in silence. When someone's rude to you and you reply to them with silence, what you're really telling them is, it's not your business what I think back. And that gets people to thinking. Think about this. When males and females break up, what is the number 1 bit of advice people are given that want to get back with their ex? Give them silence, no contact. Why? Because people don't like being ignored. So if you ignore them, if you employ silence, you'll quickly find that even though you feel like you can really put words together well, your real strength many times is silence. And when you really get that in your head, and for young people that's difficult, if you're in your 30s, 40s, and 50s, you might be way ahead of the game. But let's be honest, there was a point where you learned about silence, and if that point did happen in the last 10, 15 years, let me know down in the comments. But if you're somebody in your 20s, you probably like getting answers. So you like talking and asking and giving up too much information. Sometimes when you're silent and you keep a poker face, sometimes you can get little victories in the world that you weren't meant to get. And I'm telling you, you want to have people admit some shit to you? Give them a little silence. Now, here's what I'm not saying. I'm not saying do psychological torture to your partners, and whether they do something or not, you give them silence. What I'm simply saying is when you're watching a movie, it's okay to be silent. If you or your partner are reading a book, it's okay to be silent. But if people start accusing you of this, that, and the other, don't defend yourself if you know you're innocent. Just be silent. Because only the guilty want to argue. Think about it. In other words, even if you're guilty, try silence. You'll be amazed. Don't do that. I was just kidding. Anyway, I want to let you guys know, sometimes we wake up on the right side of the bed where we feel like we can tackle everything. Sometimes we wake up on the wrong side of the bed, okay? It does not mean that you're bipolar or crazy. It simply means sometimes you need to take a walk and come back to reality. Reality is a good place in the world of the crazy, okay? In the world of the crazy, reality is king. It just doesn't seem like it all the time. I'll see you soon.